Today, we are diving deep into the landscape of our inner selves, this soul's journey. And believe it or not, our guide for this exploration is actually one of the most intense and dramatic love stories ever told.
I mean, have you ever felt like you're literally at war with yourself? You know that feeling, right? Where you're being pulled in a million different directions all at once. One part of you wants this, another part wants the total opposite. It honestly feels like there's a battlefield right inside your own head.
Well, in Islamic tradition, there's this incredible way to describe that exact feeling. The self is sometimes called a kingdom in chaos. And it just perfectly captures that internal struggle, doesn't it? It paints this picture where all our impulses, our desires, our habits, they're like these loud, rowdy citizens, all screaming for attention and satisfaction. And our true self? It can end up becoming a total slave to all their demands.
So there's a name for this inner self, this kingdom. It's called the Nafs. And what's so fascinating is that it isn't seen as inherently good or evil. Instead, think of it more like pure potential. It's this one, single, really complex part of us that can actually change and transform. It moves through different states, hopefully on a journey toward inner peace and some real clarity.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get a solid handle on what the Nafs really is. Then, we're going to break down its 3 key stages. And the best part? We'll see how this amazing ancient story of Zuleika and Yusuf just brings this whole transformation to life.
Okay, so let's dig in. What is the Nafs? Really, you can think of it as a roadmap for our inner world. It gives us this incredible framework for understanding our own growth, how we develop as people. It literally maps out the journey from being completely ruled by our base instincts to, hopefully, achieving the state of real, profound peace.
And listen, the stakes for this journey, they're huge. There's this incredible saying that goes, "The one who knows his nafs knows his Lord." I mean, wow. It's basically saying that the path to knowing yourself is the path to knowing the divine. When you start to truly understand your own soul, you're starting to understand a much, much greater reality.
So, the Quran actually lays out 3 main stages on this path. We kick things off with what's called the commanding soul. Then we move into the tough part, the struggle of the blaming soul. And the ultimate goal? To reach the soul at peace. Now let's see exactly how this whole journey plays out in that story I mentioned.
All right, Chapter 1. Stage 1. This is the commanding soul, or an-nafs al-ammara. And let me tell you, this is the soul at its most chaotic. And it is absolutely perfectly shown in the opening act of Zuleika's story, which is all about her obsession.
So this first stage, the Nafs al-ammara, this is the soul totally unchecked. It's that part of us that's just driven by raw, powerful impulses. We're talking greed, pride, jealousy, lust, the whole shebang. It doesn't stop to ask, hey, is this the right thing to do? No way. It just screams, what do I want right now? It's all about satisfying its own desires, and there's just no room for anything higher.
And this is exactly where Zuleika's story starts. She is completely consumed by this obsessive desire for Yusuf. And what does she do? She uses her incredible wealth, her power, to build this ridiculously elaborate 7-room palace. I mean, every single room is more over the top than the last, and they're all filled with paintings and sculptures of the 2 of them together. It's all designed for one single, selfish purpose: to seduce him. Her actions, they're literally the textbook definition of the commanding soul.
But of course, the journey can't just end there, right? After our whole plan completely backfires and Yusuf ends up in prison, Zuleika enters stage 2. This is the blaming soul, or an-nafs al-lawama. And folks, this is where the real inner battle begins.
See, at this stage, something really important starts to happen. It's like the soul starts to wake up to itself. A conscience kicks in. It starts looking back at its own actions and asking those hard questions. Wait, why did I do that? Was that okay? And this creates this constant, really painful tug of war between all those old habits and this new, dawning awareness of something more. That's the blaming soul for you. It's all about regret and finally looking in the mirror.
And for Zuleika, this inner battle plays out as years and years of just deep suffering. She's separated from Yusuf, and she's totally eaten up by regret. Now, the obsession doesn't just disappear, but now it's all tangled up with the pain of what she did. Her health starts to fail, she gets weaker, and her life just becomes this long, dark period of thinking about what she's lost. It's a perfect, tragic picture of the blaming soul totally at war with itself. Okay, but this long, painful struggle, it's not for nothing.
It can actually lead to a final, incredible transformation. The soul has the potential to reach its highest possible state, the soul at peace, or an-nafs al-mutmainna, and this is the stage of surrender.
Imagine this. The soul is finally, truly calm. It's not fighting with itself anymore. All that chaos is gone. It's found a kind of certainty, and it happily submits to a will that's much bigger than its own ego. We're talking wisdom, gratitude, and this deep, unshakable contentment. That constant nagging feeling of I want from the first stage, it's just gone.
Now, how does Zuleika get there? Well, she only reaches this stage after she has lost everything. I mean, literally everything. The story says she becomes old, she goes blind, and she's so poor she's living in a little hut made of reeds. All the tools she used to rely on, her beauty, her money, her status, poof, gone. And in this moment of complete rock-bottom desperation, she prays one last time to her idol for help and gets nothing. Silence.
And this is the pivot. This one moment captures the entire shift in her consciousness. Her focus completely flips. She stops praying to her own little statue for the thing she wants, Yusuf, and instead she turns her prayer to the Lord of Yusuf, to that higher reality she'd ignored her whole life. She's not demanding anything anymore. She's just asking for mercy.
And this all leads up to one single, incredibly powerful action. She takes that idol, the symbol of her old self, her ego, all her worldly attachments, and with her own two hands, she smashes it to pieces. That is the moment of total and complete surrender. It's the death of the commanding soul.
So when you look at it this way, Zuleiha's whole life story becomes this incredible, breathtaking allegory for the soul's journey. This path from raw, messy obsession all the way to a kind of enlightened surrender.
Okay, so let's just lay it all out one more time. That obsessive love she started with, that was her commanding soul, pure and simple. Those long, painful years of suffering and regret, that was the struggle of the blaming soul. Smashing the idol, that was the critical moment of surrender, of finally letting go of the ego. And it was only then, only after she gave up everything, that she finally found that true lasting inner peace.
And that right there, that's the core paradox, isn't it? It's the ultimate lesson of her story. It was only when she lost all the things she used to get what she wanted, her beauty, her money, her power, her schemes, that she finally reached what she was looking for. Real connection didn't come from grabbing and holding on tight. It came from letting go.
And that just leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? I mean, Zuleika's story is always told as a love story, a story about her love for someone else. But when you really look at it, her real journey was completely internal. And it kind of makes you wonder, what if the greatest, most challenging, and most rewarding love story we'll ever have is the one we have with ourselves?